Drummers Against Implied Timekeeping, Richard D. Albus. I want to talk a little bit about electronic drums because I finally have available to me to utilize them. You're seeing right here in front of me a Yamaha DTX electronic drum set. I've had it to use as a tool to teach with for about 4 weeks, and I've played on it pretty consistently, almost every other day. And there are some great things to discuss about electronic drums and some drawbacks. Now, this is my opinion, and my opinion only, but bear with me. I just think it's important for the future going. I want to do some things on electronic drums for those of you who look in over here, all right? Especially when we're applying an open-handed position playing. I've been playing on a conventional drum set for 51 years and 4 weeks on an electronic drum set. So my opinions are not that accurate completely, but I know pretty much from an aesthetic and application point of view what the problems are already. Now, if you're in an apartment building or someplace where you cannot play a regular drum set, the electronic drum set with a set of headphones is just great to learn on. And especially if you're a young drummer. My students, because it has a click track and presets of certain types of music, I think 10 things of different styles, this is excellent for a young drummer. But the drawback has to do with the feel, because you're dealing with pads. Now, there are better than the DTX. The top-of-the-line Yamaha is an excellent drum set, and the top-of-the-line Roland also comes to mind. The Alesis as well is also very good. But this is for a basic DTX Yamaha kit for teaching. The biggest drawback initially, after 4 weeks of consistently playing on an electronic drum set, the biggest drawback is the cymbals. Not only does the feel strange, but the aesthetic of a real cymbal compared to an electronic cymbal, I just don't see how it'll ever compare. I have seen over the years a lot of players who have used an incorporation of an electronic drum set with regular, bronze quality cymbals, and that's very good. I think the cymbals will never be replaced electronically. There's too much of an aesthetic with a cymbal, with the metal, that electronics cannot duplicate. But the combination of the cymbals, regular cymbals with an electronic drum set, that's a pretty good thing. But just to give an example, when I started playing on the electronic drum set, 4 weeks now, the difference for me is the articulation of playing, just articulating rhythms. You can pull off riffs, and they articulate well through the speakers. And that is a big advantage on an electronic drum set, because I have the one speaker on the side here, right in my ear. But it allows the ability to really pull off a lot of intricate notes. And they articulate better maybe than a drum set, because you can hear them distinctly. But the problem with that is it doesn't carry the sound wave. If we were to listen to it on a recording, it's perfect. But the feel, the flavor of the drum tonality is dead in an electronic drum set. So I like the articulation of electronic drums, but I don't like the tonality, and that should be obvious because you're dealing with signals. And I definitely think that electronic cymbals are terrible. compared to real cymbals. So incorporating the two is the best if you're going to do it for a live performance. Also, of all the electronic drums, the snare is the most problematic for me, whereas the toms are very interesting, always. The snare, you can articulate, but it doesn't hold like a metal or wood snare aesthetically. But the toms, I think, are equal. You know, they're to a regular drum set. And so there's advantages to this, especially when you're playing a beat and you're laying down time. It's distinct and it's perfect, but it has some sort of an emptiness, I think. So I would incorporate, if I could, if I was doing a session now with any original group situation, I would incorporate electric and use real cymbals and a real snare. I may try to use the electronic toms only, but real hi-hat and regular cymbals and a real snare. Now the bass drum is an interesting thing. If I was playing double pedal, I would like an electronic double pedal. If it was double pedal. On a single pedal, I'd like a real bass drum. I think it's preferable. But on electronic, if I'm just doing one hit, I kind of like the idea of using the electronic. So basically, incorporating the two, the toms would win out, and I would use the conventional drum set to be put together. So I would use a real snare, real cymbals, but I might use electronic toms and an electronic bass drum if it's single pedal, or double pedal. If it's single pedal, I would use a regular bass drum. That's how I see it so far after 4 weeks. I just love the idea of the presets too. Let's see, let's try a different song. Just to see what that sounds like. Maybe, let's try this one. They have all kinds of things. From that aspect, I think it's okay, but the cymbals are lacking. That's just my view of it. But as a teaching tool, most interestingly, I have 4 students that are under 14 years of age, between 10 and 14, and they prefer a real drum set, a conventional drum set with real cymbals. And I have 5 adults in their 30s and 40s, and of course they prefer a conventional drum set. So none of them prefer, if they have the choice between electronic or conventional, they prefer conventional. And of course I do. But there are places where electronic drums can really be incorporated. And I'm here to do this video to tell you that you should try, if you have an electronic drum set, incorporate real cymbals to it, if you can. In your maybe playing or recording situation. It would be really good. The toms, no question, and the bass drum, no question, if it's single or double pedal. If it's single pedal, I like a regular bass drum. This is my view of it so far. And the other idea that I get out of electronic drums is you think differently because of this articulation question. The riffs that I'm thinking of, or the things that I come up with creatively, are different than on a regular drum set. I don't do flams much on an electronic drum set where I would do on a conventional drum set. But I noticed that I'll do paradiddles, open paradiddles, you know, these sort of things. I would do them on a electronic drum set that I would not do on maybe a conventional drum set as far as fills would go. I would incorporate more things between my hands and feet on a conventional drum set, whereas on an electronic drum set, I might not do that. Those are the things that I'm experiencing after 4 weeks. So this is my opinion of electronic drums, and this is a Yamaha DTX. If you get to the top of the line Roland, as I say, or the top of the line Yamaha, it has a lot more to it. But this is how I feel about this particular kit in comparison to a conventional drum set. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I'll answer. And I want to welcome everyone who's coming over here to visit for the first time. This is the first video I have shot with electronic drums, and so hopefully you'll bear with me on that. But I have a specific way that I teach regarding an open-handed position style to enhance your power, your independence, and most importantly your creativity as a player. And I want that to be applied to an electronic drum set as well. If you haven't, please subscribe, because your subscription is the support, and I thank each and every one of you for that always. I'll do more of the electronic things and apply them to some of the principles that I teach, as long as you like that. All right, so I'll also provide my PayPal account in the comment section. Your support through PayPal is very well appreciated. Thank you for that too. So let me know what you think, and I'll keep you posted as I'm working on new ideas on the electronic drum set, because they are going to be a little bit different on fills and this sort of thing. All right, and I'll let you know as it goes. My best to all of you for looking in, and take a look at my catalog. It is very extensive. All right, my best.